How are Americans going to offset the rising cost of everything? Good evening, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Silver Dad Knows. Remember, always live with no edits. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button now, as you're going to like what I'm about to say. So, guys, right here to my left, a splendid piece that is nearly a century old. This is a 1926 Mercury Dime. And I do have a handful of these, particularly this year. I have a very nice amount of Mercury Dimes as a whole, but I like to go up the ladder, you know. Last year I showed was a 1925, 1924, 23, 22, 21. You get the gist, and I'm going to go up. So the next piece I'm going to show is a 1927. But let us talk about this 1926 here, because that is the year that we're on. Struck at 90% silver, Mercury Dimes were issued between 1916 through 1945 and circulated during an eventful period in U.S. history. Spanning two world wars as well as the Great Depression, these small yet beautiful works of art are still pleasing to the eye. Though Mercury Dimes disappeared from circulation in the 1960s, these coins have taken their rightful place among the most popular collector coins. This 1926 Mercury piece was struck almost a century ago at the Philadelphia Mint. So just awesome piece. Really love this one. And if you're in the silver game and you are not stacking on Mercury Dimes, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. Mercury Dimes are like a must now. And right now, especially because they're still so affordable. So if you're wondering, something like this, you know, in circulated condition, these 1926s can range anywhere from $3 to $40. However, in pristine, uncirculated condition, there was one that sold a couple months ago for over $2,000. So it's a little dime right there, selling for $2,000. And even in today's market with inflation, $2,000 can buy quite a bit. So break open your piggy bank, because you might be holding on to some very special, expensive pieces, and I hope you are. Real quick, guys, before I continue, I want to give a quick shout out to the one and only Veritas Files, and there's a comment from earlier today. This is just a segment, okay, because I know they go into great detail, but I found this segment to be quite insightful and important. If inflation continues at a higher rate, they will either raise rates or leave them at current levels. Eventually, something will break. But I've been waiting for real breaks in the system for 16 years, and they have been able to triage and somehow keep the system together under incredible conditions. I don't know how much longer this pretense can continue to be fraudulently foisted upon the population, but the growth in interest in Bitcoin, crypto, gold, silver, and prepping bespeak an increasing awareness of the realities in this economy. Despite whatever curated propaganda we are fed by the government and the mainstream media, I have said it before, but it is important to stack something for those we love who haven't woken up to these realities. They will be at your door anyway when the time comes. You might as well give them a lifeline now so that they don't show up at your door empty-handed. I give out one American Silver Eagle and 100 or 150-year-old silver dollars each year at Christmas to my nieces, nephew, brother, a few friends, and my son. Amazing, Veritas Files, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. They will be at our door anyway, so help them out or just stack up extra because, yeah, with that in mind, that's why I prep extra water. I prep extra everything because I have family members who I love dearly. They don't listen to me, but hey, at least I'll be prepared for them when the time comes. You know, it's been several years now that the Federal Reserve created trillions of dollars out of thin air, along with unprecedented deficit spending. By monetizing the debt, the Federal Reserve devalued the dollar and enabled free money policies, which has caused the high inflation we are experiencing in real time. Monetizing debt is a closely coordinated effort between the White House, the Fed, the Treasury Department, Congress, big banks, And of course, Wall Street. That's why retirees are seeing their savings evaporate. Credit card deficits are skyrocketing. People are missing home equity lines of credit loans, personal loans, payday loans, insolvent loans, you name it. This is the greatest transfer of wealth and assets we've ever seen. Currently, 1 in 5 users have already maxed out their credit cards, and the average consumer carries at least $6,200 in credit card debt. Look at what China's doing. They're diversifying away from the US dollar. They already sold $53 billion worth of T-bills and have invested heavily in gold and silver. Gold, silver, copper, platinum, palladium, they're all doing extremely well right now. The goal is to reduce global reliance on the US dollar for trade and financial transactions. Following the current trend of inflation, even if you make 15 to 20% more next year, your living standards will be reduced. This is the unfortunate reality. If you find a way to make 30 to 40% more, you'll be able to maintain your living standards. This is how fast our dollar is losing value. Our purchasing power is being eroded. There's no denying anymore what's happening to America. America is no longer the same place it was 5 years ago, and what it's going to be in the next 5 years will be surely radically different. It's going to be a completely different place. Rich Dad told his son decades ago, we have to teach people to be capitalists because our school systems want them to be communist. We've already lost our freedom of speech, and now they're coming after our guns. They're even coming after our sense of humor. If you laugh at certain things now, you're crucified simply by laughing. This country is rotting from the inside, all while we teach America's children to be victims. Our grandfathers and great-grandfathers fought incredibly hard for this country, and now centuries of miraculous work is being reversed. Delinquencies across credit cards are 5 times greater than during the financial crisis in 2009. These are dark times. 1 in 4 can't afford to keep the lights on, yet we have a booming economy. 20 million Americans can't even afford to pay a simple utility bill. How are Americans going to be able to offset the rising cost of everything? People will just continue to default as our situation increasingly gets much worse. All over America, cars are being sold, Airbnbs are being sold, assets in general are being sold to keep one's head over water. But if you're prepared with stable income, money in the bank, cash, silver, and gold at home, plenty of food and water, great credit, this is going to be the greatest investment opportunity in your lifetime. So guys, just before I forget, I would never forget this piece right here. Stunning, eye-catching from the get-go. And this is one of my only pieces that I have of this coin, and a coin that I do not intend to sell. Here we have a 2018 Silver Marvel Series Black Panther coin. This is the 3rd release by the Perthment, featuring 6 different Marvel characters, and this one follows the successful Spider-Man and Thor bullion coins. Its mintage is limited to 50,000 coins worldwide. And remember, the movie star who played Black Panther passed away, and that has significantly raised the premiums on this specific coin. So right now we're looking at the Averse, which features the effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and states the legal tender denomination from Tuvalu. When we go to the reverse, the good stuff, and we find a classic rendering of Black Panther ready for combat. He's ready to go. These are all struck in Australia, and that is where the Perth Mint is located. One of my personal favorite mints, and it shows in their work, the quality that goes into these coins, the detail that goes into these coins. That's why they're so hard to counterfeit. And counterfeiters, they're reluctant to counterfeit these coins because it's an extensive process, and if you want to make a quick buck, you can't really do it trying to make these, especially in the silver game, because so many people, you can tell real silver from fake silver, and then a lot of people are testing like myself, so regardless, as good as it is, it will get tested. But yes, folks, love this piece, and of course my 1926 Mercury Dime. I have more over here, and I'm going to continue showing. The next Mercury Dime I show, of course, will be a 27, and I'm going to go all the way up to 1945. So I imagine that'll be some months from now, but we're going to go through the whole collection. But folks, Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Silver Dad Knows. God bless you. God bless your household. And God bless America.